Kasi umpisa na natin kanina. Alright, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so dito tayo nagtapos kanina. And the question so far regarding with this one. Example, dito pala. So, binigay ko na tong quiz na to. Yeah, tama. So, ito yung pinaka-last quiz on the weighted mean. So, same pa rin. Gamitin nyo lang yung 4-point grading system. So, ano yung 4-point grading system natin? Ito. Itong A is equal to 4, B is equal to 3, and so on and so forth. Okay? The next one is frequency distribution. Okay? So, ito na yung more realistic na data. Kasi yung data na nakukuha natin kanina, mga 5 lang, 6. Okay? Eh, hindi naman ganun talaga. So, yung data natin umabot pa ng 10,000 or 1,000. Kaya meron na tayong parang mga application para sa mga ganitong data. Okay? Hanapin niya kung ilang or ilan yung summation ng lahat. So, computer na yung magsasolve. Anong data yung nag-prompt na mas marami kaysa sa iba. Okay? So, siya na rin mismo mag-solve. And then, meron na rin tayong taga-arrange from smallest to largest. Pero syempre, hindi kayo gagamit ng ganun. Okay? So, ima-manual nyo to. Ang gagamitin nyo is yung mata nyo mismo and then kung paano nyo i-observe yung mga data. Okay? So, start muna tayo sa raw data. So, it is a data that have not been organized or manipulated in any manner are called raw data. So, raw nga eh. So, una-una fresh na fresh pa lang. Okay? So, it is a large collection of raw data may not provide much readily observable information. So, we call that one a frequency distribution, which is a table list of observed events and the frequency of occurrence of each observed event is often used to organize raw data. So, gumagamit tayo ng frequency distribution para mas ma-organize natin. Okay? Or mas makita natin yung result pagkatingin pa lang natin dun sa data na yon. Okay? Or dun sa organized data na yon. Okay? So, we call that one frequency distribution. So, for instance, consider the following table. So, ito yung table natin, which lists the number of laptop computers owned by families in each of 40 homes in a subdivision. So, ito nanggaling siya sa subdivision and then binahay-bahay niya siguro. And then, out of 40 homes, yan, 40 lahat to, bilangan nyo na lang, we have 5 rows and then 8 columns. So, 5 times 8 is 40. So, out of 40 homes, ito yung nakuha niyang data. So, sa isang household, okay, in one household, meron tayong 2 laptops, 2 ulit, 0, meron yung iba, wala. Yung iba naman, isa lang, yung iba, 2, yung iba, wala ulit, isa, 1, 2, 4, and so on and so forth. Pinakamataas sa maraming laptop sa isang bahay is 7. So, baka malaking family yun and then mayaman pa. So, yung iba, isa lang kadalasan or 2. Okay, yung iba nga wala pa eh. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is i-arrange natin siya in a frequency distribution. So, ano yung frequency distribution na yun? Ito. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, kunin natin yung mga counts of laptops. Okay? So, ang papansinin nyo, nag-start siya sa 0 and then yung pinakamataas is 7. So, para hindi kayo mahirapan, i-count nyo na lang siya by 1 pataas. So, smallest is 0 hanggang pinaka-7. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, meron kayong 8 data. Okay? So, ito na yun. 0 hanggang 7. So, yan. And then, hanapin nyo or bilangin nyo kung ilang beses nag-prompt. Okay? Kung ilang beses nag-occur itong data na to. So, yung 0, 5 times, sabi doon. So, hanapin natin. Isa ito, pangalawa, pangatlo, pang-4, saka pang-5. So, 5 times nag-occur yung 0 natin. So, lagay nyo lang dito 5. Okay? So, same with 1. Hanapin nyo lang kung ilang beses nag-prompt itong 1 natin. So, hindi ko na isa-isahin since masyadong marami. And then, ayun, waste of time. Papacheck ko na lang sa inyo kung tama ba yung mga bilang na nandito. Okay? So, for 0, it prompts 5 times. So, 5 household yung walang laptop. And then 12 household naman yung merong tigi-isang laptop. 14 na household yung meron dalawang laptop, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, nasabit na rin naman na dito, this row indicates that there are 14 household with 2 laptop computers. Okay, and then, i-add nyo to lahat. Okay? Add nyo yung frequency number of households. So, kapag pinag-add nyo to lahat, you will get 40. Okay? So, mamaya malalaman nyo kung anong gamit na itong 40 na to. Okay? So, the formula for a weighted mean can be used to find the mean of the data in a frequency distribution. Okay? So, para mahanap natin yung average nito, so gagamit tayo ng weighted mean. Okay? So, the only change is that the weights, yun, yung mga W1 natin, W2, W3, hanggang kahit ilang W or kahit ilang weights pa man yan, will be replaced with frequencies. So, instead of weight, ang gagamitin natin is frequency 1, frequency 2, frequency 3, hanggang kung ilang frequency man yan. So this procedure is illustrated in the next example. Okay? So from this data, find the mean of the data in the table below. Okay? So ito na yung solution natin. So same lang siya. Pero napalitan lang yung weights natin into frequency. And then of course, yung weight natin sa baba o yung summation of weights will be summation of frequency na. Okay? So ito na yun. So 0 times 5. So imagine na lang na ito yung weight natin. Okay? And then 1 times 12. Ito na rin yung weight. Wherein, ito na siya. 0 times 5, 1 times 12, 2 times 14, 3 times 3 hanggang sa maabot nyo yung 7 times 1. Okay? So kung papansinin nyo, meron tayo isang data dito. Okay? Na, yun, yung 6 is 0. Kasi nga, ang ginawa natin is binilang natin from 0 to 7 or from smallest to largest. Wherein dito sa table na to, okay, wala namang household na merong 6 laptops. Ang meron is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 7. Okay, walang 6. So again, para hindi ka mahirapan kung ilan yung ililista nyo, hanapin nyo yung pinakamababa and then yung pinakamataas. So yun na yan, 0 to 7. And then, hanapin nyo kung ilang beses nag-prompt of each of those data. Okay? So, here's our solution. So, yan. And then, divided by 40. So, ito na yung summation of our frequency. So, doon yung magagamit yung total neto. Okay? Ng second column natin. Or frequency number. Okay? So, the mean of number of laptop is 1.975 per household. Okay? So, out of 40 homes, ito yung nakuha nating average. So, wala naman sigurong 0.975 na laptop. So, pwede natin consider to as 2 laptops each household. So, yun yung pinaka-average natin. Okay? So, parang may nagsusulat. Meron ako nakikitang red dito. So, sino man yun? Tanggalin na lang natin. Nagulat pa ako. Akala ko pixelated na yung monitor. Anyway. So I think paint lang to out from Zoom. Okay, so any questions so far?
Answer.
Same lang siya ng weighted mean natin. It's just that you're going to use or you're going to get the data from a raw data. Okay? So ang tawag natin dyan is frequency distribution ito. Okay? So same process with the weighted mean. Okay, so as usual, after this example, you're going to have the quiz on that mean of data displayed in a frequency distribution. Okay, so pinadali ko na. Okay, pinadali ko na, hindi na kayo manggagaling mismo dito sa sa raw data. Ginabang ko na kayo ng frequency distribution. Okay, so meron lang tayong 4 data. Okay, and then yung mga kung ilang beses nag-prompt itong mga data na to. Okay, so hayaan ko na to sa inyo. Same lang din naman siya ng process dito. Okay? Alright, so next one is measures of dispersion. So, another topic to wherein i-discuss natin yung range. So, another type din to ng averaging, pero more on kwento sa mga products. Okay, kasi hindi porket na kayo mo average, anong gagawin mo after nun? So, ito naman, kukunin natin yung range para malaman natin kung paano yung division ng isang bagay. Okay? So in the preceding section, we introduced 3 types of average values for a data set. So the mean, the median, and the mode. So some characteristics of a set data may not be evident from an examination of averages. So for instance, consider a soft drink dispensing machine that should dispense 8 ounces of your selection into a cup. So the table below shows data for 2 of these machines. So as you can see, we have 2 machines, okay, machine 1 and then machine 2. And then these machines, yan, dalawang yan, so dapat nagdi-dispense lang sila ng 8 ounces. Okay? Say Pop Cola or Coke. So sa first bottle, 9.52. Second bottle is 6.41. So kapag sobra, sa customer, okay lang. So sobra yan. Sobra, mas maganda. Pero pag 6.41 ounce, so syempre lugi ka na. Nagbayad ka ng buo tapos makukuha mo less. So ito na yung mga tinatawag nating ang tawag doon BO. Hindi ko alam kung anong acronym ng BO. Pero yung mga BO na yun, BO products, yun yung mga bad order pa tawag doon. Yun yung mga binabalik nila. Okay, and then papalitan ng company kasi nga nagkamali yung machine nila. Then 10.07, which is sobra-sobra. And then 5.85, sobrang baba. Okay, another BO. And then 8.15. Okay? And then kung kukunin nyo lahat, ito, using a mean, okay, kasi kung papansin nyo, sample mean ito yung symbol ng sample mean natin. So alam nyo naman yung formula ng sample mean. Sample mean is equal to summation of data divided by the count of data. You will get 8 ounces. Okay? So of course, hindi naman ilalagay nung mga tao or nung mga employee yung sobra-sobra. Let's say, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. So 40 ounces yung nilagay niya sa machine. So dapat maano siya, ma-dispense siya equally. 8 ounce, 8 ounce, 8 ounce, 8 ounce sa mga cup na yun. Okay? Pero dito, nagkaroon ng problema. Yung iba, sobrang taas, umaapaw na. Yung iba naman, sobrang baba or sobrang konti. Okay? Pero lahat yan, yung average pa rin yan is of course 8 ounce. Okay? The same with this one. Machine number 2, 8.01, 7.99, 7.95, 8.0T, and then 8.02. So, since machine naman yan, so wala namang eksakto. Or kung meron man, so tsambahan na lang. Pero ito, sobrang liit na lang ng deviation, which is 0.01. So, sumobra lang siya ng 0.01 ounce. Hindi na yun mapapansin ng mga customer. Or ito, nagkulang siya ng 0.01 ounce. So, okay lang yun. Hindi na rin yun mapapansin ng mga customer. 7.95, 8.03, and then 8.02. So, kung papansin niyo, yung machine number 2 natin is like working perfectly. Okay, hindi man perfect, pero good na siya. Okay, good na siya para sa isang company. Pero ito, masyado maraming problema. Okay, sobra-sobra, kulang-kulang. Okay, and then kung i-add nyo to lahat, you will get an average of 8. Okay, so 40 ounces din yung nilagay sa machine to. Alright, so the main data for each machine is 8 ounces. However, look at the variation in data values for machine 1. So the quantity of soda dispensed is very inconsistent. In some cases, the soda overflows the cup, and in other cases, too little soda is dispensed. So the machine is obviously needs adjustment. Kaya nasabi ko, medyo defective yung machine number 1. But for the machine 2, on the other hand, it is working just fine. Okay, the quantity dispensed is very consistent with little variation. Okay, so range, dito na papasok yung range natin. So the range of a set of data values is the difference between the greatest data value and the least data value. So another way of getting the average to, okay, ang tawag natin is range. So kung papansin ninyo, mula dito, kung kukunin natin yung highest data sa machine 1 is 10.07. And then yung lowest natin is 5.85. Kung ano man yung makukuha yung result doon, that's our range. Okay? And then for this one, ganun din, kunin nyo rin yung highest, which is 8.03. And then the lowest is 7.95. So sa mga company, para sa mga product, the lesser the range, okay, the better. Kasi yun yung parang consistency ng machine na yun or nung kung ano man yun. Okay? The higher the range, of course, hindi na maganda. Okay, ito yung parang palya. Okay, ito yung sobra-sobra or kulang-kulang nangyari or nabibigay dun sa mga produkto. Okay? So, sabi dito, find the range of the numbers. Tama, example. Find the range of the numbers of ounces dispensed by machine 1 in the table below. So, yun na nga. Kunin nyo lang yung highest and then yung lowest. So, here's the solution. So, 10.07 and then the least is 5.85. So, 10.07 minus 5.85. The range of number 1 or this example is 4.22 ohms. Okay? And then in number 2, yan. So, quiz nyo na yun. Okay? So, supposedly, hindi ko na ito ibibigay na quiz kasi sobrang dali. Pero, but then again, mas maganda kung ma-experience nyo kasi kahit na sobrang dali pa man yan, as long as, yun, iba pa rin kasi kapag sinusulat nyo, sinusolve nyo, or ginawa nyo. Okay? Hindi lang yung nalaman nyo. Mas maganda kung tinatest nyo palagi yung sarili nyo. Okay? So, sobrang dali na yan. Parang bonus na to. Okay? So, get the range of the machine number 2. So, yung nakuha natin sa machine number 1 is 4.22 ohms. Okay? So, any questions so far regarding with your quiz on the range?
None, sir.
Alright, so, masyado ko yatang mabilisan kasi sabi ko last meeting, baka abutin tayo ng 3 hours for the first meeting and then meron pang second meeting. Sa sobrang kagustuhan ko na matapos natin ngayon. So, yun na, sobrang bilis. And then I hope naiintindihan nyo naman lahat. Okay, kasi madali lang naman talaga intindihin eh. Okay, so meron bang violent reaction na sobrang bilis ko?
Wala, sir. Sakto lang.
Sakto
Wala
lang.
po, sir.
Sakto lang, sir.
Alright,
Okay
that's
lang
good.
po.
Kasi ang gusto kong mangyari kasi exam nyo na next week, exactly 18. Okay? Exactly 17 pala. So, gusto ko yung next meeting nyo, which is Wednesday, is pahinga nyo. Okay? Actually, technique ko lang yun. Hindi nyo yung pahinga. Technique ko lang yun kasi gagawa ko ng exam nyo. Okay? Dito ko ginagawa yung exam nyo para pagdating sa 17, yan, may exam kayo. Kasi yun, hectic din yung schedule ko. Lagi akong 7:30 and then malagi akong merong 7:30 p.m. So 7 to 7 ako palagi. Kaya yun, para lang alam nyo. So lahat ng mga yan, mga 14, 13, 12 madalas, binibigay ko to as vacant or free day para makapag-review kayo and then para makapag-relax. And then at the same time, para magawa ko yung exam nyo. Okay? Alright, so next one will be the standard deviation. So, ito na yung sa mga, ano bang tawag dito? Sa mga ayaw gawin ng student ko dati kasi medyo madaming steps. Okay? Pero dito, sa inyo ngayon, sobrang dali na lang kasi nga, open notes. Yung 5-step na yon, hindi nyo na kailangang i-memorize. Titignan nyo na lang and then yun na yun. Okay? Though, sa inyo naman yun kung gusto nyo i-memorize. Pero, okay lang kahit hindi since basic na basic lang naman din to. Hindi nyo naman talaga kakailanganin sa ganitong subject and then sa ganyan. Okay? So again, para lang magkaroon kayo ng idea. So standard deviation. So the range of a set of data is easy to compute. Okay? So sobrang dali nga nun. But it can be deceiving. Okay? So the range is a measure that depends only on the two most extreme values, which is the highest and then the lowest. And as such, it is very sensitive. So a measure of dispersion that is less sensitive to extreme values is the standard deviation. So kung meron tayong mean para sa sensitive, okay, meron din tayong range na sensitive din pagdating sa central ba? Dispersion. So meron tayong safest na hindi ganoon ka-sensitive pero reliable pa rin, which is the standard deviation. Okay? So the standard deviation of a set of numerical data makes use of the amount by which each individual data value deviates from the mean. Okay, so malalaman nyo kung ibig sabihin yan mamaya. So these deviations represented the data minus the sample mean. Okay, or the X bar. Or positive when the, wait lang, may nag-message. Sir, di daw po maka-join si Ryan kasi naputulan daw po sila na and mahina rin daw po yung signal po sa kanila. Alright, so Mr. Basera, pakisabi na lang sa kanya, okay lang. Like I said, di naman ako nag-check ng attendance. Pero ang gusto ko lang kasi na nagjo-join kayo para on the spot na kung sakaling hindi nyo naintindihan yung topic is may question kayo. So, sa kanya, pakisabi na lang na panoorin na lang niya ulit yung mga video. Diba? Lahat naman ng mga meetings natin is recorded. So, rewatch na lang niya ulit. Kapag meron na yung kuryente at saka okay na yung signal sa kanila. Okay? So, saan na ako kanina? Okay, so balik na tayo dito. Ulitin ko na lang. So the standard deviation of a set of numerical data makes use of the amount by which each individual data value deviates from the mean. So yun na nga, this deviation represented the one data minus the average, okay, or the sample mean. Are positive when the data values x is greater than the mean x bar, and are negative when x is less than the mean x bar. So of course, common sense na tong part na to. So the sum of all the divisions, like x minus x bar, is 0 for all sets of data. So this is shown on the right side of the table for the machine number 2. So ito, sa machine number 2 tong data na to, tong 8.01, 7.9, 7.95, 8.03, and then 8.02. Wait lang. Ayan. Sige, sir, thank you po. Alright, so ito yung data natin from machine problem number 2. Itong 5 na to. And then, para yung pinaka-first step natin para makuha natin yung standard deviation is ito. So, kunin nyo muna yung mean neto. So, kapag nagawa nyo na yun na nga, ang mean neto is 8. I-minus nyo siya mismo dun sa pinaka-data natin or yung mga each of sample data natin. So, 8.01 minus 8 is 0.01. 7.99 minus 8 is negative 0.01. 7.95 minus 8 is negative 0.05, and so on and so forth. Okay, so nandiyan naman na yan. So kapag pinag-add nyo yung limang yan, dapat ang makukuha yung deviation is 0. Okay? Bakit? Kasi kung ano man yung deviation, ibig sabihin, let's say may deviation na 1 or 2. Kapag ganun yung nangyari, may mali sa computation mo. Okay? Or sobra yung data na nilagay mo dito. Okay, like instead of nilagay mo lang sana is 40 ohms para eksakto na kapag dinivide mo by 5 is 8 ohms. Ang nangyari is naging parang 42. So, magiging sobra. Okay. So, dito ang nakuha natin is eto mga to. 0.01, negative 0.01, negative, positive, positive. And then, this is the sum of deviations. Okay, which is 0. So, meron tayong 2 example, okay, for the standard deviation. So, of course, yung isa is for the population, the other one is for the sample. So kapag population, ito yung kabuuan. Okay? Kapag sample, ito naman yung subset of that population. Okay? So the first one is population. Okay, ito. So if x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, hanggang kahit ilang x sub n man yan, is a population of numbers with a mean of mu. Okay? So again, yung symbol ng sample ng population mean natin, okay, is mu. Ito yun. Then, the standard deviation of the population is ito. So, ito yung symbol. Take note, ito yung symbol ng standard deviation natin. Okay? Nakalimutan ko yung tawag dyan, pero yung ganun. Okay? Equal to the square root of summation of x minus the mean of the population. Okay? Mu. And then, squared. Divided by n. Okay? So, ito yung formula mismo ng standard deviation of population. So, take note, this one is for population. Okay? And then the second one is the standard deviation of sample. Okay? So, kapag sample, of course, ang mean niyan is x bar. So, ito naman yung symbol niya. So, correction lang dito, dapat maliit to. Maliit na x bar. Hindi ko lang bakit malaki na ilagay ko. Pero dapat maliit na x bar to. Okay? So, same lang siya dito sa population natin. Mapapalitan lang yung symbol. Wherein, mean pa rin naman siya. Pero, mean from sample. Ito naman is mean from population. And then, instead of divided by n lang siya, dito naman is divided by n minus 1. Okay? So, yun lang yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa. So, kayang-kaya nyo itong memorize. Pero, nandiyan naman na yan. So, balikan nyo na lang. Standard deviation of population, ito. Standard deviation of sample, ito naman. Okay? So, let's have an example for this one. Di muna pala, yung procedure. So, yung kanina, ito lang yung parang pahapyaw. Ito talaga yung pinaka-complete. Okay, so this is the procedure for computing a standard deviation. So determine the mean of the n numbers. Okay, so yung pinaka-first step natin, which is ginawa na natin kanina. So from the table, ito yung mga mean ng data na to. Ito naman yung mean ng data rin na to. Okay? Second step, for each number, calculate the deviation difference between the number and the mean of the numbers. So nagawa na rin natin tong step 2. Okay? Ito. So kukunin natin yung difference. Difference or deviation between the number and then the mean. Okay, ito yun, kanina. So ito yung nakuha nating difference from the data itself using the mean. Okay. And then the third step, calculate the square of each deviation and find the sum of this square deviation. Okay, so ito na yung naiba. Calculate the square of each deviation and then find the sum of this square deviation. So mamaya ipapakita ko ano tong third step na to. And then fourth step natin is if the data is a population, then divide the sum by n. And then if the data is a sample, then divide the sum by n minus 1. Actually, nandito na siya. Ito yung pinakabuo. So kunin nyo muna yung mean. And then pag nakuha nyo, itabi nyo lang. Pangalawa is i-divide. Minus nyo siya dun sa data natin gamit tong mean na to. So each data to or each value. Okay, kaya nga in terms of summation siya. And then i-squared nyo lang. Okay. And then after yung squared, kapag population siya, divide nyo siya by n. Kapag sample naman, divide nyo siya by n minus 1. Okay? And then step number 5, find the square root of the quotient in step 4, which is this one. So yun yung pinakalas. Actually, itong formula na to is step 1 to step 5 na. Okay, so sundan nyo lang to. Summation of x minus u, blah, blah, blah. So same with this one. Okay, summation of x minus x squared naman, for example. Okay, so those are the procedures in computing the standard deviation. Okay, so para mas ma-appreciate nyo to, itong 5 steps na to, we have here the example. So find the standard deviation. So the following numbers were obtained by sampling a population. Okay, so again, sample to. Okay, kasi nanggaling to sa population. Okay, we have 2, 4, 7, 12, 15. So find standard deviation of the sample. So isa sa mga pinaka-tip ko lang is alamin nyo muna kung ano ba tong data na to, sample ba siya or population na mismo. So dito naman, obvious naman, were obtained by sampling a population. So this one is a sample or a subset of this population. Okay, so kapag population, ito yung gagamitin yung formula. Kapag subset of this population or the sample, okay, ito mismo. Alright, so I hope clear yon. Kasi kapag napagpalit nyo yung dalawang yan, mali na yung sagot nyo. Okay, kahit sinundan nyo yung steps. So mahalaga alam nyo kung sample ba siya or population na ba. Okay, so we have here the first step. So step number 1, the mean of the numbers is, yan. So kunin nyo lang yung mean na ito. So add nyo lang 2 plus 4 plus 7 plus 12 plus 15 divided by how many counts of data? 5. So divided by 5. And then you will get this one. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Okay. Step number 2, for each number, calculate the deviation between the number and the mean. So kunin nyo lang yung mean na nakuha nyo, which is 8. So 2 minus 8 is negative 6. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. And 12 minus 8 is 4. And 15 minus 8 is 7. And then as always, dapat yung result na ito is 0 kapag pinag-add nyo. Okay? Then step number 3, calculate the square of each deviation in step number 2. Okay? And then find the sum of these squared deviations. So ito yung raw data natin. And then ito yung in-apply natin yung second step. And then ito na yung third step. So pagkakuha nyo neto, itong difference natin sa step 2, squared nyo lang. Okay? So kapag in-squared nyo yan, mapa-negative man or positive. So yan, as always, we will have a result of positive. So 6 times 6 is 36. 4 times 4 is 16. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 4 is 16. 7 times 7 is 49. And then 6 times 6 is 36. And then, kunin nyo lang yung sum of the squared deviation. So kung kanina, kinuha natin yung sum of deviation, which is eto ngayon, which is always 0. Ito naman is the sum of the squared deviation. So pag kinuha nyo yung sum na ito, 36 plus 16 plus 1 plus 16 plus 49 plus 36, you will get 118. So again, i-verify nyo na lang to kapag pagkatapos ng lecture natin. Okay? So that's it for the third step. So moving on, step number 4, because we have a sample of n is equal to 5 values, divide the sum 118 by n minus 1. So again, since alam natin na sample nga ito, okay, ang gagamitin natin na formula is this one, n minus 1. So bilangan nyo lang yung data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 1, since yun nakalagay dito. So divide it by 4. Okay, which is 4. So divide 118, ito, 118 divided by 4 is equal to 29.5. So pinaka-last step natin is square root, okay, of this 29.5. So standard deviation of the sample is S is equal to, yan, square root of 29.5 is 5.43. Okay, so ito yung standard deviation mismo ng data natin dito. 2, 4, 7, 12, and then 15. Okay? So, kung arithmetic mean lang yan, ang makukuha nating average is 8. Pero standard deviation nito is 5.43. Okay? So, any questions so far?
Wala po.
Wala, sir.
Okay, so sana nga. Okay, so sana nga na-gets nyo. Di bale, pag binasa nyo to ulit, sigurado may enlighten kayo. Kasi sobrang daling intindihin ng module na nilagay ko ngayon dito. Okay, so as usual, after this example, you're going to have a quiz. Okay, so ito yung data natin. A student has the following quiz scores, 5, 8, 16, 17, 18, 20. So find the standard deviation for this sample of quiz scores. Okay, so kayo nang bahala dyan. So apply those 5 steps. Okay, so another example. Teka lang, ano pa bang topic to? Topics pala. Dalawa. Okay, so hindi na kasya yung oras. Hindi na kasya yung oras, so pinipilit ko, tinatry ko yung best ko na tapusin na natin ngayon, kaso hindi talaga kasya. So magkakaroon tayo ng part 3. Okay? So stay tuned. Tayo nyo lang yung i-release kong part 3. So parang movie lang. No? Okay, so kita-kits na lang ulit tayo mamaya. Pag may mga question kayo, mamaya na lang ulit. Diba, 2 topics na lang to. So, ay, mamaya na lang. May mga question kayo, mamaya na lang din since wala na tayong oras. Alright. So hanggang dito na lang muna yung part 2. So part 3 na lang ulit mamaya. So again, bye-bye. 5 to 7 minutes.